Hello everybody then, and welcome back to the VALVIK Marble League. My name as always is Frankie, and today it's time for the friendly round, where our 4 auto-qualified teams will go through the events we've seen last week in the qualifiers. Welcome back everybody. As a quick reminder, the teams are as follows: Balls of Zen, the defending champions, the Carbons, the Sky Scouts, and the Scorpuriers. And of course they'll be running in the same events that we've seen in the qualifiers, which are of course the Waterside Sprint, Block Pushing, Team Pursuit, and the Funnel Endurance. And we start off already with them, with the Waterside Sprint, Balls of Zen, Carbons, Sky Scouts, and the Scorpuriers, and they're already off. Good start there for the Balls of Zen Scorpuriers. Lane forward there, watch them very closely there. And it's very close to count between these two there. Lanes 1 and 2. Sky Scouts were a little bit behind there. Meanwhile, the Carbons were nowhere near in that fight whatsoever. But it was super close then for the Balls of Zen and the Scorpuriers there. I'm not sure which one finished ahead because they looked to be pretty much dead on as they crossed the line there. We will have to see the photo finish for that. At the photo finish, it's the Scorpuriers! Salamander will just do it over Utopia of the Balls of Zen. The Sky Scouts can finish 3rd, and the Carbons in 4th, but it's a good start then for the Scorpuriers. Remember, the team that finished 4th last season had a wonderful recovery from 15th at the end of the first half. But yeah, now they're here and they're enjoying it. As we move on into block pushing, with of course only 2 runs per team, so each run will count. And so far, it looks to be a decent run there for the Balls of Zen at 60. Remember, the Balls of Zen also aces at this event at block pushing. They have a gold in season 1, a silver in season 2. They have the record actually for the best individual push, but it's not really all that good for from the Balls of Zen here. Meanwhile, everybody else sticking in that 55 area. It will be then a 60 for the Balls of Zen. The others can still overtake them though, so something to watch out for. Move on into round 2 now. And it's a bad run there for the Balls of Zen. As I say that, the Scorpuriers have the highest run of these 3 so far. Carbons and Sky Scouts pretty much level there. But for the Balls of Zen, it was a bit of a disaster here after their decent run in the first run. I don't think they're gonna win this event. We will have to see where everybody stacks up there. But not good pushes from everybody, especially from what we've seen in the qualifiers. But let's see, and it will be the Sky Scouts out of nowhere, really. 116.5, the Scorpuriers still stay in 2nd. Carbons take 3rd, and it's the Balls of Zen after having a very good first run. They drop to last. But let's check out then the overall standing. And the Scorpuriers 1 point ahead of the Carbons. Balls of Zen 1 point ahead of the Sky Scouts. But a big gap then as we move on to event 3, Team Pursuit. Of course, these teams now try this event out for the first time in their careers. Sky Scouts and the Carbons here, 2 big rivals of Season 2. As Carbon's a little bit behind there, but look at Watch Graphite there, very quickly going through these turns here, and they will finish ahead of the Sky Scouts. Remember then, in the Team Pursuit, it's important to also you also compete with everybody else, so not just against, not just going ahead. But look at the Sky Scouts there; they had a stoppage right at the end there. That second marble there just stopped the momentum of everybody else there. But let's check then the results, and it's a 949 from the Carbons. That's easily the best run we've seen so far from what we've seen from all of the teams in the qualifiers as well. They take the lead for now. Let's see if any of these 2 can ruin their party here. Scorpuriers not that good at speed events from what we've seen in their history. Balls of Zen here a little bit faster, and they will finish ahead of the Scorpuriers by a large amount. Let's see where they end up against the Carbons. I don't think it's going to be a better run than what we've seen from the Carbons though. Let's see if at least the Balls of Zen can challenge for 2nd there. But yeah, at the finish line then, it was a large margin from that 3rd marble of the Zens compared to the Scorpuriers there. And it's only 2nd, and the Carbons will take the win in Team Pursuit. And makes all but 1 teams with a gold medal. Let's see if the Balls of Zen can medal here in the last event. But look at that. All teams divided by 1 point. It's still anyone's game for the friendly round as we go into the last event, which is of course Funnel Endurance. Everything can happen here. We've seen some massive upsets here in the Funnel Endurance in the qualifiers. Let's see what happens here. We've got Sting, Right, Fiber, and Balance. 3 reserves for these 3 teams, as they're already off now. Of course, we're using the new layout for the Funnel Endurance here. As meanwhile, it is briefly there in the last. It is Sting of the Scorpuriers here, and Balance as well. Balance, of course, silver medalist back in Season 2 of the Funnel Endurance, the Season 2's running of the Funnel Endurance here. But big battle there with Fiber, the reserve of the Carbons. Carbons not really all that historically great in the Funnel Endurance. They don't seem to be made for this kind of event here. Scorpions and the Sky Scouts, somewhere in the middle really. They have good performances and they have some bad performances as well. But everybody in that same funnel still, as Balance now enters into provisionally last now, followed by Right. As no, look at Pins and Sting there, a very large margin. And as I say that, meanwhile, it is Fiber now up in first. Fiber now almost getting a funnels gap from everybody else here, but they join Balance now. As they enter, they join Balance and they join Right now, as the Carbons now almost entering into third place now. But meanwhile, Sting going through these funnels very quickly here. They're losing ground compared to their rivals here. Balance now seems to join Sting now, but Sting enters this big long funnel. We're approaching the halfway point here. We're about to start seeing the stadium now as we descend down into these funnels. And we have a series of long and wide funnels. These have been very, very controversial funnels here because they have caused some big eliminations in the past here. But meanwhile then, it is going to be Fiber then that drops into last as we enter now into a series of small funnels here. These are relatively fast funnels. As I said, I know now Sting, Sting enters into this funnel now. Sting very, very slow here as we enter the second to last funnel now. It is Sting now in the second to last funnel now with Balance and Fiber. Right there also had a brief lead there, but now they're dropping down into the funnels now as Sting enters the last funnel now. This could be everybody's game here. Sting could be finishing in last here as Balance and Fiber and Right now enter. But Right, I think, makes a mistake and they will finish in last, and they do. Meanwhile, very close between these three. I think Sting will enter third. We have to see now. And it is Sting in third. Balance and the Carbons will do it again with Fiber. Wow, talk about an upset. The Carbons almost nowhere in this race. They bounced around all over the place, but they were able, just at the last funnel there, to be just ahead of the Balance of the Balls of Zen. And I think this might guarantee that the Carbons will win the friendly round. We have to check real quick though. Yeah, it was a bit of a disaster there from Right of the Sky Scouts. And it will be then the Carbons that finish in first, Balls of Zen, Scorpions, and the Sky Scouts to cap off the last event of the friendly. Well, let's see now who wins the friendly out of these four. And it will be the Carbons by 1 point. The Scorpions take second, Balls of Zen in third, and the Sky Scouts once again finish last in the friendly round. Congratulations to our podium finishers, Balls of Zen, Scorpions, and the winners of the friendly round, the Carbons. Well done then to the Carbons for winning the friendly round, but also well done to everybody else who competed. But that was it from the friendly round. Coming up next in the VALVIK Marble League, of course, it's the start of Season 3 with the opening ceremony and event number 1, the Water Slide Sprint. We hope to see you there. Goodbye and have a nice rest of the day.